Hello everyone, welcome back to Yimba Gaming. This is part 2 of my control series. In it I'm going over the basics for PvP and Destiny. I wanted to start off first by saying a little bit about the control play mode. There are 3 points that are available for your team to capture, and the teams are made up of 6 people each. A general rule is that you want to capture B and then either A or C. B, however, is one of the more difficult points to capture, but if you capture B and then an adjacent flag, it'll provide a safer spawn area for you and your team. It is really important that you become familiar with the maps, and the best way to do this is to just start playing a lot of Control. This is the Twilight Gap map, and I have a video here showing you how to get to B from either spawn point. Here I just came from A, and in a little bit you'll see me spawning at nearby C. You can just shift over to the left side of the map from my perspective here, travel along the outer edge, and jump on over to B. The more teammates you have with you, the faster you'll take a control point, and also if it's already in enemy hands, the faster you'll be able to neutralize it. As a general rule, at the beginning of a match, you want part of your team to go for the nearest flag, and the other half to go for the middle point, or the B flag. This map is Rusted Lands, and so right outside this building there's actually a big sniper's alley that runs the entire width of the map. So again, this is another example of why you want to become familiar with the map. You want to be careful when you're covering a lot of wide open ground. As I mentioned before, B is probably the hardest point to take on any of these maps. Again, we're back on Twilight Gap here. I'm headed towards B, and the reason why they're really hard to take is because they're open to enemy fire from multiple directions, and it creates a bit of a kill box. I think the designers did this on purpose because if you do take control of it, it does provide your team with a tactical advantage.
Zone A lost.
As far as points go, the more flags you hold, the more points you get for each enemy kill. You can see you can also get bonus points. I got an extra 10 points there for a headshot. This holds true for things like heavy weapon kills, super kills, multi-kills, all of that you can get extra points. The main sticking point though is that you need to hold flags in order to get extra points. So the team generally that has more flags and has more kills, numerically they're going to come out on top. So if you find that your team, like the opposing team in this one, they don't have any flags, they really need to be pushing to at least get one flag so that their kills are actually going to be giving them more points than just the basic base 100. This current clip here, which shows Pantheon, it opened up with me taking some special. I really recommend that whenever you see special you pick it up, because if you don't, there's a good chance the other team will get access to it. It's just a way of denying the other team resources and to help give your team a little extra bit of an edge. A big part of control is being smart about the timing for things. When to turn a corner, when to take cover, when to trigger your super, and as you play you'll get a little bit better at being able to determine, okay, I should take cover, my health is low, or hey, you know, I should super because I think that there's a few more enemies around. That was really cool. I ended up in like this face-off blade dancer thing. But basically, you know, it just comes down to playing smart. You know, if your bar is red, then don't go charging into a bunch of other enemies, like this right here. I should not have gone forward. I tried to pull my super off and there's no way I was going to make it. This clip here, I was a little smarter about it. I like to keep an eye on the score. If I have a super and the game is coming to a close, the total points, it cuts off at 20,000. I try to pull my super before that can happen. That way I get those extra kills. I also really recommend that you use your super as often as it's ready, that way you're not missing out on points. The next thing I want to talk about are the heavy weapon drops during control. Don't grab it just because you can. Try to wait for your teammates because it will translate into a big advantage for your side the more people that are able to pick up heavy. On the other side of that coin, if your radar is going off and you know the enemy's approaching, it's better to grab it and even die than it is to let the other team get their hands on it. There will always be an announcement when heavy weapon ammo is inbound, and there will also be a countdown timer showing you when you can actually pick it up. Just be careful about approaching heavy weapon locations because they can be sniped or there might be someone waiting to ambush you. It's not uncommon that a team will decide to try and steal your team's heavy. So they'll go into the side of the map that is pretty much in your territory, and they'll try and take the heavy before your team is able to. I do want to briefly mention the importance of grenades while you're playing in PvP. They're a great way to take someone out. Maybe, like in this instance, I'm wounded. I can't stay in that area because I was getting shot at, but that person's health was getting pretty low. So I thought, okay, awesome, I'll just chuck a grenade. This holds true for long distance as well. You know, this person, they're taking cover behind that bulkhead right over there. I can tell that their health is getting low, and so I go ahead and I lob a grenade. The last thing I want to mention is the importance of using your radar. I've had a ton of easy kills because people were simply not paying attention to it. If someone's really far away, there'll just be a little line on the outer edge of your radar, but as you get closer, then it'll start to fill in. If it's solid in color, that means that they're on the same level that you are. Here's a good example where I start to inch forward because I think they're in the hallway. And once I go down the stairs, it grays out. Once I pop back up, it fills back in. So you can really use this to help track people, and it can be really helpful when you combine it with your knowledge of the maps. I do want to say that PvP is a lot more fun in a group, so if you can get a fire team of 6, it'll be a lot more fun than if you're going in by yourself. If you're new to PvP, it's also a good idea to stick with a buddy until you get an idea of what the map layout is like. Hopefully I've covered all the really important bits in playing Control. I'd like to thank you for watching, and as always, feel free to subscribe.